I told you, La Liga fans, I told you, Barcelona fans, that Barcelona would win La Liga this season. I posted a video back in like July or August telling you that Hansi Flick would come and save FC Barcelona and deliver a La Liga title in his first season at the club. And I said it in that video at the end that I will come back with no shame and rewatch my video and tell you that I was right. Barcelona are La Liga champions. They were by far the best team in La Liga. They outclassed everyone. They pimp smacked Real Madrid 4 times throughout the course of the season. They got unlucky in the Champions League. They were on course to a treble. They have done the domestic double, La Liga and Copa del Rey. And I basically predicted the whole thing 9 months ago. I'm that guy. You guys, I'm that guy. When Hokage speaks, you listen. When Hokage tells you something's gonna happen, bet on it. When Hokage says XYZ, you bet on XYZ and you make money. So without further ado, let's go. You guys, this is honestly a Barcelona glaze session. Barcelona were so well. We're going to talk about Barcelona throughout the course of this video, while we also watch my video from 9 months ago on like 2x speed because I yapped for 19 minutes. And we're going to glaze Barcelona, and I'm going to give myself, you guys, a little bit of self-glaze and self-love. You guys, hashtag self-love, hashtag self-love, hashtag mental health. Anyway, let's get into it. Sorry, I paused the video for like a second. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, here is the video. Let's go. And you guys, by the way, did I get fatter? Does my face look slimmer in this video? I feel like my face looks slimmer. My hair is a lot shorter. I need to get a haircut, but I'm not even wearing the hat in this video, but it is what it is. For this banger, I didn't wear the hat. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyways, let's get into it.
Yes, guys, Hokage Puya here.
Hold on. We need volume. We need volume, you guys. I was about to make that mistake and watch the whole thing, no volume. Anyway, let's get into it.
And as the title states in this video, I think Barcelona will win La Liga. I do believe Barcelona will win La Liga. I'm going to give you my reasons why in this video. I think people are falling asleep on them. I think people are not taking Barcelona.
By the way, yeah, this is on 2x speed, so I don't sound like a chipmunk. And hopefully, I'm going to rewatch this video after I'm done recording it. Hopefully, you guys could hear the audio. I'm not sure how sharing my screen and playing a YouTube video works. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it, but hopefully, I don't have to redo this whole thing. But anyway, let's get into it. We're on 2x speed. Let's hear this beautiful, beautiful man predict Barcelona's season. And yeah, people were sleeping on Barcelona going into the season. On my point there, people were sleeping on Barcelona. People thought, not that many signings. Hansi Flick, his last job with Germany. I sat here and told you guys Hansi Flick was failed by the players in the German national team. He did not fail the German national team. I told you to not sleep on him. I told you this. And people were saying Real Madrid were the favorites with bringing Mbappe. People said that. People said Atletico Madrid with the signings they made, Julian Alvarez and everyone, they were second favorites. People had Barcelona as third favorites, but here I am telling you that they were going to win the league.
On a serious, but I'm telling you, Barcelona will win La Liga 2024, 2025, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, let's go to my first point. We're going to go to the squad, but my number one reason as to why I believe Hansi Flick will win La Liga, why Barcelona will win La Liga, is because of Hansi Flick. My boy Hansi Flick, that gave my club so much success in just 18 months. Hansi Flick, guys, let's forget. Yes, he got Germany group in the World Cup. Yes, he got sacked for a guy half his age in Julian Nagelsmann. I understand that. But you guys, Hansi Flick, don't forget, because I don't. Remember that Bayern team under Niko Kovac. Yes, they just won the league. They just won the cup. But coming into that season, they beat Spurs 7-2. Everything looked good in the Champions League front. But in the league, Bayern was fifth. Bayern was sixth. Bayern was lost under Niko Kovac. Everyone said Neuer's finished. Boateng's finished. Javi Martinez. Alaba
Everyone said
finished.
that.
They told me Kimmich wasn't good enough. They told me, how can a guy in Alfonso Davies be good from MLS? Javi Martinez. Everyone. Javi Martinez. Muller. They told me all these guys are finished. They told me Coman and Gnabry were not good enough. Hansi Flick, you guys, that was the real discourse about the Bayern team. Hansi Flick took that team and won 7 trophies in 9 months.
This was one of my huge points. Why I was so confident in Barcelona this season. And sorry, I kind of let that go on for a long time, but I was kind of waiting for that point to be finished. But Hansi Flick doesn't need €100 million. Hansi Flick doesn't need the best player in the world. Hansi Flick doesn't need an oil rig and a state backing him. Hansi Flick had already proven, that's a real word, Hansi Flick had already proven 6 years ago, 5 years ago, that he could take a team of supposed washed players. Like I said in that video, you guys, that 2020 Bayern team, before Hansi Flick took over as interim after Kovac got sacked, before that happened, a lot of people, the discourse about that Bayern team was that that was a finished team, that Kimmich, Gnabry, and all those guys weren't good enough, that Boateng and all those guys, Neuer and Muller, were washed, that Lewandowski was washed. But you saw what Hansi Flick did.
He turned them into a sextuple team. Hansi Flick did that.
7
So
trophies.
Hansi Flick knows how to get the best of a very crappy situation, and that's exactly what this Barca situation is right now.
Yeah.
Barca don't have the money to be splashing on players. Barca
Yeah.
has the issues with registering players in La Liga. We understand that. And Barcelona in this transfer window this summer are non-existent. There is no moves being made. They try to go for Nico Williams. Nico Williams today, I think, has just been confirmed that he's going to stay at Athletic Bilbao.
This is, you guys, this was before the Dani Olmo signing. I was thinking, even before Dani Olmo came to this team, I was confident about it. Because, yes, they ended up getting Dani Olmo, but as my point stood there, they almost didn't register Dani Olmo for the season. Dani Olmo almost wasn't able to be registered to play a minute in La Liga for Barcelona. That was the truth. Barcelona, no money spent. Horrible season of their Xavi the last previous season. The team had no direction. Nothing. But I told you about Hansi Flick. I told you that he is the best manager to ever live. I told you he is the best manager in the world.
This summer transfer window is looking terrible for Barcelona. It doesn't look like anyone of quality or any high-class player, high-profile player is going to come in for Barcelona. It looks like Barcelona going to the season with what they got. They may make some signings, but they ain't going to be blockbuster signings, it doesn't look like.
Now, as I just said, Dani Olmo ended up signing for them. But would you really consider, I said they might make some signings, but would you really consider Dani Olmo a blockbuster signing? Barcelona fans, anyone watching, would you really consider Barcelona, would you really consider Dani Olmo a blockbuster signing? I wouldn't. I wouldn't consider that a blockbuster signing. When Dani Olmo was signed, the blockbuster signing Barcelona wanted was Nico Williams. That's a blockbuster signing. Dani Olmo was like, all right, injury record, Leipzig, had a good showing at the Euros, but he wasn't this, oh my God, Dani Olmo has joined Barcelona. They're taken to the next level. Absolutely not. That was not what the Dani Olmo signing was. So I was wrong here that they weren't gonna buy any more players. They ended up getting Dani Olmo, but that wasn't a blockbuster signing.
But Hansi Flick, you guys, he understands that. He took a team of Finnish players and turned them into sextuple winners, treble winners, one of the most legendary teams of all time, and into a ferocious attacking team. So Hansi Flick, put some respect on my boy Hansi Flick's name. Put some respect on my boy Hansi Flick's name. Okay.
Respect has been put. Everyone in Europe is on high alert, and Real Madrid fans, out of everyone, have learned the hardest lesson about doubting Hansi Flick. My boy Hansi Flick, the greatest manager to ever grace the game, the greatest attacking manager. He is the most exciting manager. He is the manager with the biggest and the hardest balls of steel. Pause. Hansi Flick, my boy. Respect my guy.
Okay, put some respect on it because Hansi Flick, my boy, he knows what he's doing. He has a plan for this team. And Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, be afraid, don't be cocky, stay cautious, stay wary.
Real Madrid fans, I warned you. The warning shots were given 10 months ago.
Hansi Flick is coming for you. So Hansi Flick is one of he's absolutely my number one reason as to why I think Barcelona going to the league.
He got
even on that front, Hansi Flick taking a crappy situation and turning it into an amazing result, right? You guys, the style of play is going to bring to Barcelona. It's going to finally match the profile of these players. These players under Xavi did not know how to play attacking football. They did not know how to string passes in the final third. They did not know how to transition effectively. Hansi Flick is going to bring down this team. And I know it's just a friendly, but against Manchester City yesterday, instantly, with just the youth players, Hansi Flick was already implementing 1-2 touch play, ferocious attack, 3-4 passes, and they're in the final third of the opposition's team, creating 1v1 scenarios.
So I watched one Hansi Flick game with Barcelona in a friendly against Manchester City, and I already knew this Barcelona team was ready to cook something this season, because if you watched that preseason game, all of a sudden, from the days of Xavi, where the buildup was horrendous, there was very little risk-taking. There was very little entries into the opposition final third. No risks being taken. No vertical play. I watched that one game, although it was a preseason game against Manchester City, because, you can't, sometimes you can't take preseason, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But I saw one game in preseason against Manchester City, and I saw the improvements instantly. Pedri was more daring with his passes. The La Masia players who started that game, a lot of youth guys played in that game against Manchester City. They were more ballsy than that Barcelona team the previous season with Xavi ever were. They were cutting open Manchester City in 4 passes. And I saw instantly the mentality switch in this Barcelona team. And that is what I said Hansi Flick was going to bring to this Barcelona team. He was going to bring this attacking style. He was going to bring a different level, a completely different style of football that nobody in Spain, nobody in La Liga had ever seen before. And he was going to cook with that. He was going to cook with that, and he did.
And that's with the La Masia players that they're just playing in preseason games here in America. You guys, Hansi Flick is going to establish a philosophy in the squad that these players might be foreign to them, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to get the best out of them. I'm telling you right now, he is going to get the best out of a lot of these players. And
we'll get to it. I'm going to go through the whole squad right now in this video, but you guys, I mean, he maximized a lot of potential this season. He maximized a lot of potential this season in this Barcelona team.
Top it all off, Hansi Flick, you guys, is a man manager. And we know how well man managers do. And with a team so young, you need a man manager. You need that senior figure. Oh, also, Hansi Flick also brought Thiago Alcantara as a freaking coach. So you're telling me now, Hansi Flick's going to bring his skills as a manager, taking his ability to take a horrible situation and turn it into an amazing result. You're telling me he's going to bring man management, attacking football, a new philosophy to refresh the Barca style of football. And you're telling me he's bringing Thiago Alcantara, one of the last remnants of true La Masia midfielding talent. He's going to teach Gavi, Frankie de Jong. He's going to teach Pedri how to play football, real Spanish football. You guys, Barcelona, in my opinion, they're cooking.
So Thiago Alcantara, I was mistaken at that point. Thiago Alcantara was just brought in to be a coach during preseason. Now, I thought Hansi Flick had hired Thiago Alcantara to bring him onto the coaching staff, like permanently for the whole season, like he's a full-time coach. That was wrong, but he spent a whole summer with these players. He spent many training sessions before the season started coaching these midfielders, Pedri, Gavi, De Jong, even the guys that broke through this season, Casado, Bernal, improving Fermin Lopez's game. I'm sure Fermin Lopez picked up some things from Thiago Alcantara. So again, yes, Thiago Alcantara wasn't a coach all season, but I'm sure he had an impact on these players in preseason, teaching him what he knows.
Hansi Flick, absolutely number one reason. Real Madrid, stay cautious. Real Madrid, and I'll hit on Real Madrid at the end of this video again. But Real Madrid, stay cautious. Hansi Flick.
Again, I'm warning Real Madrid fans. You guys, I'm brilliant. I'm a brilliant guy. I'm really smart. I'm really humble at the same time. I'm a model citizen. Real Madrid, I warned you twice. I mean, I really did. I really did. But, some people don't want to listen.
Carlos,
some people would rather have 15 UCLs than a brain. You know what I mean? But
he is coming for you, my boy. But let's go to the team. So, Ter Stegen. Now, I know a lot of Barca fans have some hatred for Ter Stegen, but I'm sorry. Ter Stegen is not as bad as Barcelona fans say he is. Now, as a Germany fan, I will tell you he sucks.
And I stand on that. I mean, I'm going to skip through parts of this here because I'm going through like every player and every facet of the squad. Ter Stegen ended up getting that big ACL injury. Inaki Peña had to come in and deputize for 4 months. Chesney came in second half of the season and became the starter. I still stand by Ter Stegen. I think he has a lot to bring to this Barcelona team. And, he didn't get a chance to establish himself on a Hansi Flick. Now, we'll see what happens this next season. I'm sure Ter Stegen will be back as the starter after getting a full preseason under his belt. But we still have to wait and see what Ter Stegen is going to do with this Barcelona team. But also, by the way, I don't know what this is. Someone else did someone else does, like, I guess fans or people who watch the video did the timestamps tan. I think he meant Ter Stegen. I don't know. People are tripping, but yeah, I stand by Ter Stegen being good enough for this Barcelona team. Let's get to the defense.
You know about this Barcelona defense that these players are good enough to win the league because they won the league with Xavi playing excellent defensive football, conceding I think only 9 goals throughout the whole entire season, just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
you guys, the players are there. The players in this back line are worthy of winning the title. They are La Liga challenger worthy.
9 months later, they're La Liga winners. What did I say? 9 months later, they're La Liga winners.
Christensen. Now, Lenglet's back. I hope he leaves because I know Barca fans, you guys don't like him. Inigo Martinez. He's a good backup center back. We know Jules Koundé is good enough.
Now, that was a wild statement from me. I didn't realize Inigo Martinez would end up being the starting center back he was for Barcelona, the leader he was for Barcelona this season. I don't think a lot of Barcelona fans expected it either. I mean, If Araujo didn't lose half his brain cells, Araujo would have been the starter all season. And in addition to his injuries, Inigo Martinez ended up being a very important a very important cog to Barcelona's team this year. And, you know, maybe he'll be the starter next season. I don't know. Barcelona fans are telling me they want to bring in a replacement and push Inigo Martinez back to the bench because of his age. But what a role Inigo Martinez played this season for Barcelona.
We know Araujo's good enough. Eric Garcia,
Again, yeah, we know Koundé is good enough. We know, I know Barcelona fans have kind of fallen out of favor with Araujo, but he is a good guy to have backup at least. And he was excellent when you guys won the league 2 seasons ago under Xavi. He was one of the main reasons. He was the leader of that back line. So again, another guy, you might have fallen out of favor with him, but he's a good guy to have.
Fantastic season at Girona. Alex, a good backup center back. We know Jules Koundé is good enough. We know Araujo is good enough. Eric Garcia just had a fantastic season at Girona. Alex Balde.
Again, you guys, and Barcelona fans, they've come to realize that Eric Garcia isn't a bum, and I think a lot of Barcelona fans really like Eric Garcia as a squad player, backup defender now, because he put in many great shifts, many great substitute appearances and backup appearances for Barcelona this season. And I was right, man. Barcelona fans were very negative about their squad, but I didn't really understand that. Eric Garcia was a great backup after the season he had with Girona.
Kubarsi, he's going to get more minutes and establish himself more. And
prediction, I made that prediction. Kubarsi was going to be a starting center back. I made that prediction there. I knew this kid would establish himself. I knew he would be one of the faces of this Barcelona defense this season. I knew it. The quality he showed, I just knew it, guys.
This is the player I want to focus on right here. Balde, Alejandro Balde, Alex Balde. You guys, this is Barcelona's Alphonso Davies. His profile is so similar to Alphonso Davies.
Now, I was going in here about how Hansi Flick had Alphonso Davies when he won the treble. Now he has Alex Balde, and they are very similar players. Young Alphonso Davies and young Alex Balde are very similar players. Now, Balde ended up getting that long-term injury, but even before his long-term injury this season, Balde was cooking. He was doing for Hansi Flick what Alphonso Davies was doing for Hansi Flick 5 years ago at Bayern. So I was right about that as well. Alex Balde would be utilized as that Alphonso Davies style player. And he was being utilized that way with his rapid speed, his technical ability, his creativeness in attack, overlapping runs with Rafinha. It was like I was rewatching Alphonso Davies this season under Hansi Flick. You know what I mean? So I was right about that as well. And Balde, he's back from his injury now. Next season, he's going to be the starting left back again, and he's going to have a big part to play with this Barcelona team next year.
I am excited to see what Hansi Flick is going to do with Balde, because oh man, this is the Alphonso Davies profile photocopied.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does with Balde. Let's see what he does with, because the thing I'll say about this Barca defense too, compared to that Bayern defense, Hansi Flick has more pace in this Barca defense than he does.
And to that point that I just made, that this Barcelona defense has more pace than that Bayern defense, I think this is why, because this Barcelona team isn't 100% the same as that Bayern team. A big difference between that Bayern team that Hansi Flick had and this Barcelona team is the very aggressive high line. Now, don't get me wrong. That Bayern team was like one of the first teams we've ever seen in this century play such a high line and be successful with it, right? What Hansi Flick introduced to this Barcelona team this year was a drilled, consistent, and disciplined high line plus an offside trap. And the reason why he implemented that more, he took the high line to the next level to the extreme, is because he knew he had the pace in the back line. Koundé is no slouch. Araujo, when he's fit, is pretty quick. Balde has that Alphonso Davies speed. Kubarsi is a very fast young center back. So I knew he would take advantage of a youthful, young, fast defense.
Not Bayern defense. Alaba is not the fastest. He's fast, right? But he's not the quickest. So
anyway, that was my take on the defense.
There is your Gundogan, and Gundogan you have your Kimmich and Thiago style. Like,
now this is my worst take of the video. I said Gundogan would stay. I thought he would be this Kimmich and Thiago style that he had at Bayern 5 years ago, Hansi Flick, but he ended up leaving. Now, that's not much of an issue because look at the other names that Barcelona have in midfield. Pedri, the best midfielder in the world. Frankie de Jong, who I knew Frankie de Jong would have a big part to play with Hansi Flick this season because this was a player Hansi Flick wanted at Bayern 5 years ago. 5 years ago when he was the manager at Bayern. So I knew he would get the best out of Frankie de Jong. Gavi, quality player. Fermin Lopez, quality player. And you guys, not even in this midfielders list, let's talk about the La Masia players that rose to the occasion. Bernal before he got injured. Casado. All those the Masia guys that came in and had big parts to play this season for Barcelona. He even took guys who never played with the first team and made them into world beaters. It's the quality of Hansi Flick. It's what I knew he would do with this team.
Kimmich a mix of Kimmich and Thiago profile right there in midfield. So Gundogan I know he's gonna have a good time on Hansi Flick, you guys. Fantastic.
And if Gundogan did stay at Barcelona, I'm sure Gundogan would have had a great season, and he would have added a little bit extra to that Barcelona midfield. Yes, he went to Manchester City. He looked finished. He looked slow, but I'm telling you, different environment under Hansi Flick at Barcelona. I'm telling you, Gundogan could have been a great asset for Barcelona this season if he ended up staying.
Fantastic player. He may not show for Germany, and I have beef with Gundogan that he never performs quite well for. At this moment, Pedri, Gavi, and Frankie de Jong are all injured. But let's assume that all these players are fit and are going to be fit.
At this point of the season as well, none of Frankie de Jong, Gavi, and Pedri were all injured in the summer.
At some point during the season, you guys, Hansi Flick is going to have Pedri, Gundogan, Gavi, and Frankie de Jong to choose from in his midfield. Talented guys like Fermin Lopez as well. You guys, these are serious midfielders for Barcelona. And Hansi Flick, look what he did with Kimmich. Look what he did with Thiago. On the bench, he had Goretzka. On the bench, he had Javi Martinez. Sure, those styles may differ a little bit, but the quality is there is what I'm trying to get at. In Barcelona's midfield, the quality is there.
Yeah.
And Hansi Flick knows how to construct a midfield to play the football he wants to play. So Gundogan, Frankie de Jong, Gavi, Pedri, great options. Fermin Lopez. Yeah. With these injuries, Fermin Lopez can maybe start even. You know what I mean?
And we saw that this season. Fermin Lopez became a starter at points in the season. Whether it be at the 10, sometimes coming into the midfield to give Pedri or Frankie de Jong a rest. He got some starts as well, so I was right about that.
Good options. I do think Barcelona need at least one more signing in midfield. They need that. They need a midfielder that will make runs into the box. They need to go.
Now, I get this take here 50% right, 50% wrong. I said they need a midfielder, another signing that ended up being Dani Olmo. And I said they needed a midfield that would make runs into the box, late runs into the box, be a presence there for some kind of finishing. Bring some kind of finishing potential in from the midfield to the opposition 18. Dani Olmo was that guy. They brought Dani Olmo in. He scored some goals this season, popped up in positions in the box, just like I said they needed. But let's see how I continue to take.
Goretzka profile midfielder that Hansi Flick had back at Bayern. They need someone like that. I don't know who it is. Hell, go for Goretzka. But we had Bayern want to sell Goretzka.
That's a wild take. But yeah, they didn't necessarily need a Goretzka profile because Goretzka is the guy who, like Dani Olmo, will pop in around the edge of the box near the end of the 18, come up with shots, come up with goals if he is given the space. But Goretzka is really a guy that's late crashing runs into the box, physicality. Dani Olmo really isn't that. And I think after seeing Dani Olmo play for Barcelona, they don't need that big, brute, physical, enforcing guy, box-to-box like Goretzka. Dani Olmo was good enough. He came in, and when he was fit, he had his injury struggles again with Barcelona this season. He was good enough, and when he was playing, he would pop up with goals. He would pop up with assists. He brought a different style, a different look into the Barcelona team, and he ended up being a pretty good signing, a pretty good player. And he has he will play a big part, for this Barcelona team next season as well.
Barcelona,
so we'll skip
past injured again. I don't even think Barcelona should keep him, sell him. So what I'm trying to say is, I think the midfield is good enough, and then the forwards. Yep. So Ansu Fati just got injured again. I don't even think Barcelona should keep him, sell him, get rid of him.
Facts. I mean, I don't know why he's still there.
Lamine Yamal. Now this is a player Hansi Flick did not have. Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
The closest thing that Bayern team, the closest equivalent to Lamine Yamal is Kingsley Coman. But Kingsley Coman, because he's very direct, 1v1 true winger, a true winger that'll take his man on and make their life a living hell, right?
Yeah.
On the pitch. Lamine Yamal is the same, but Lamine Yamal gives you way more output.
Yeah.
Gives you way more output than a Kingsley Coman does. So Lamine Yamal, Hansi Flick is licking his lips at the fact that he's gonna have Lamine Yamal. And I think.
And what happened? Hansi Flick took this kid to the next level. Hansi Flick, right now, in my opinion, Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world right now, May 2025. The level this kid has shown, toying with players, making the game his own, big moments. Hansi Flick absolutely cooked, and I knew he would cook with Lamine Yamal. I knew it. I knew he would cook with Lamine Yamal.
You guys, people are telling me Lewandowski's finished. I understand the performances have not been there, but I want you to sit here, Barca fans, any fans, sit here and tell me. I want you to sit here and tell me
Listen to this Lewandowski take. Listen.
Truthfully, that Lewandowski was given proper chances and proper play was built around Lewandowski under Xavi. I want you to tell me right now that Xavi made the system to create chances for Lewandowski.
And he didn't. Xavi's system barely provided service to Lewandowski, barely offered him any service, no crosses into the box, nothing, a dustpan. He was given maybe one chance a game. For a striker, one chance a game isn't enough, especially for an older player like Lewandowski. He was not given service, and I understood Barcelona fan frustration with Lewandowski, but I knew that he would cook a little something with Hansi Flick back as his coach.
Lewandowski had proper service under Xavi. And the truth is, he didn't. I understand Lewandowski physically might not be at his peak anymore. He's still no bum physically. He's physically still no bum, in my opinion. I think Lewandowski, no use of his heading ability, no crossing from Xavi into Lewandowski.
Yep.
Lewandowski basically had no service. Yes, you bet your ass Hansi Flick is going to create service for Lewandowski. And yes, maybe he may not be as clinical as he was 3 years ago, but with actual chances coming into Robert's going to score more goals. So I'm telling you guys right now, I think Robert Lewandowski gets more than 20 goals in La Liga this season, and he's going to be a key reason why Barcelona wins.
More than 20 goals this season. What happened? He got 25. I think he's at 25 goals right now.
Liga. And also, to add to that, you don't have to just rely on Lewandowski for 50, 60 goals in a season. You have Lewandowski. I think Lewandowski can get you at least 30 goals in all competitions this season.
30 goals in all competitions. What can I say?
Truthfully, in Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, whatever the heck, Champions League, La Liga, I think Lewandowski will give you minimum 30. Then you have a guy in Lamine Yamal who actually gives you output.
Yep.
And you have a guy in Rafinha. I think the starting front three for Hansi Flick at this.
And I predicted Rafinha to also be a very key player. Now, I didn't expect Rafinha to have the season he had. The best GA in Champions League campaign since Ronaldo, tying Ronaldo with 21 goals and assists in the Champions League. I did not expect that, but I knew from what I saw with Rafinha at the end of Xavi's last season with Barcelona, Hansi Flick would make a player out of him. Rafinha this season was like Hansi Flick's Serge Gnabry in that 2020 Bayern team. Just an output monster, key moments, clutch goals, clinical finisher.
At this moment, depending on if they make signings or not, it's Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Robert Lewandowski. There's enough tools there for Hansi Flick to create a potent attack.
And he did. That was the front three all season. That was the best front three for Barcelona for most of the season until Lewandowski got injured. And Ferran Torres, I didn't really talk about Ferran Torres, but Ferran Torres had a huge part to play, which I didn't expect. But yeah, Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal were the starting front three for a lot of the season, and he did cook with them, just like I said.
That is enough for Hansi Flick to do something. So, listen, the attack isn't amazing. I think the attack can use one big star. Barcelona, I heard Juventus wants to sell Federico Chiesa. Chiesa would be a great...
That's a bad take. No, that's a bad take. Chiesa is finished and washed and went to Liverpool and never got like 3 games for the first team. That was a horrible take. But my point was that they needed a fast winger to run into behind, a finisher who's clinical. That was kind of the point I was trying to make. I chose Federico Chiesa because that was the time where he would look like he was about to sign for Liverpool or something.
Option, but Chiesa does play on the right, and that's Lamine Yamal. So, really, Nico Williams is the absolute best option for Barcelona, but he has decided to stay at Atletico Bilbao. But I'm telling you, there's enough tools here for Hansi Flick.
And, I'm not even sure about that anymore. With how Rafinha played, you don't need Nico Williams. Now, who knows how well Rafinha will play at this level, but do they need Nico Williams? Does Barcelona need that left winger, that Leao, that Nico Williams, that Ademola Lookman? Do they need him? I'm not too sure anymore.
To cook something, there is enough tools, and something else I want to share. Let's look at something else. Let me just share screen real quick, guys. Stay with me.
I'm staying.
This is the La Liga table from last season. Okay, this is the La Liga table from last season. So, obviously, top goal scorers here: Dobvik, Alexander Sorloth, Jude Bellingham. Look at the table. All right. So Real Madrid ended up winning the league, 61 goal difference by 10 points over Barcelona.
By the way, I think a lot of people, I shit on Real Madrid this season. I shit on Ancelotti. This was a great season from them, guys. One loss is crazy.
Barcelona had 4 more losses than Real Madrid. And this is something I want to hit on. You guys, Hansi, and this is a 95-point season for Real Madrid. First point is, even with Mbappe coming in, even with Endrick officially coming in, I don't think Real Madrid will be as strong this season. And the reason I say that is because of their defense. I don't think the defense will be as strong.
And boom, I said Real Madrid would not be as strong this season, and I said their defense would be the main culprits. And guess what? I was right. It's almost as if I'm a wizard. When Hokage Puya speaks, you listen.
I think there will be a drop off. And something you have to take into account is, you guys, Carlo Ancelotti has never defended a league title. He's never gone back.
And he still hasn't, and he's retiring from club football, and he's going to go coach Brazil.
Back to back in a league. And you're telling me Ancelotti hasn't gone back to back in a league, and his competing manager is going to be Hansi Flick with Barcelona? You guys, I'm telling you, Barcelona will win the league. It's not a crazy shout. Winning the league is realistic for Barcelona. It's a 10-point gap, right? But I guarantee you Real Madrid will not get 95 points again. I guarantee.
Which they didn't. They weren't even close.
There will be an adjustment period for Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo, and Jude Bellingham.
Which there was. And then you guys, you know what? The adjustment period never ended.
To all get used to each other. I guarantee you. Because we've seen this time and time again in football. When you put all the best players in the same team, it doesn't always work out.
Galacticos never work out. Florentino Perez did not learn his lesson again.
It may work out. And in my opinion, I think Real Madrid will have to adjust still with Mbappe coming in. I truly believe that because they've been playing with Bellingham as the striker basically last season. But now your front three is going to be Rodrigo, Vinny, and Mbappe. Mbappe at the number 9. And now you have Jude Bellingham now at a lower, probably playing as a number 10, playing more as a midfielder again, which is his true position, for God's sake.
And that's exactly how it was.
I think people forgot Jude Bellingham as a midfielder. There's going to be an adjustment period for this Real Madrid team. And if Barcelona can start the league strong, and if Hansi Flick can get his ideas across to these players, and if some injured players come back, and I think Barcelona
Yep.
need 2-3 signings. They don't have to be massive superstars, maybe one high-profile player, but some more signings to solidify the squad. You guys, Barcelona will win this La Liga. I'm sure of it. I'm sure.
And I will take that as a dub. I will say I'm still right about that. I did think Barcelona needed at least 2 to 3 signings. They brought in Dani Olmo, right? But I really think if they just brought in like another backup winger, maybe another defender into the mix, that would have helped them out. I was right. I do think Barcelona needed that extra 2-3 player quality in the squad that they were missing at the end of the day. But it just shows you, man, I was right. Again,
Lewandowski will get minimum 20 goals in La Liga.
Boom, I was right.
And Hansi Flick is here to cook something. Now.
And boom, I was right. He cooked immaculately. 5-star meal.
Champions League, whole other story. I'm not going to tell you what I think Barcelona will do in the Champions League, but I will tell you right now to end this video, just again to tell you, Barcelona will win La Liga. Come back to this video. I will actually personally come back to this video in May 2025, recap it.
Here we are, May 19th, 2025. We're back at this video just like I said I would.
Tell you guys, I told you so. Spit in your face. Anyone who doubts me, spit on your faces and say, I told you so.
I told you so. I told you so. You guys, that's where I'll leave it. I told you so. Barcelona are your La Liga champions 24-25, just like I predicted 9 very long months ago. It's been a successful season for Barcelona, and congratulations to them. After Bayern, I'm a Bayern fan. I watched every Bayern, all the Bayern games this season. The second team I watched the most was Barcelona, and I watched maybe 65% of Barcelona's games this season. I was tuned in, bro. I was tuned in for the Hansi Flick show, and it didn't disappoint. The football is beautiful. They got to make some signings this summer. Let's see if they can. They still have their financial issues, registering players issue and all that. But I'm sure there will be 2 signings for Barcelona this summer, at least 2 to 3 signings. I'm interested to see who Hansi Flick wants, how they build the team. And dude, Barcelona's just going to be another. They're going to be dangerous again next year. Xabi Alonso coming to Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso versus Hansi Flick. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. Barcelona are your La Liga champions, just like I predicted. And they deserve it. They were by far the best team in La Liga and the most exciting team. You've never seen a La Liga champion play the football that this Barcelona team did. And that's all thanks to Hansi Flick. So, you guys, it's been your boy Hokage Puya. I told you so. Just like I said I would. And I spit in your face. Just like I said I would. See you next one. It's been your boy. Peace.